Tapasya, 60,000 under the deep down inside the waters of Yamuna river, and there and the king of Mathura, King Mandhata, that time he was the king. So he had 50 daughters, and Saubhari Muni went there and asked for one daughter for his marriage. But king said, no, I have decided that my daughters will do Swambar. So you go and see if they select you. So King Saubhari Muni thought that king is being little smart, because he thinks that I am very old or my body is very ugly, so no daughter will select me. So using his all power of austerity, Saubhari Muni, what he did, he made himself very handsome, and then all the 50 daughters of King Mandhata accepted him only as husband, and they all the 50 were actually fighting. All the sisters were fighting, no, he is mine, like that. And then all married to Saubhari Muni. And then later on what happened, that Saubhari Muni created a very great palaces and opulent house and everything with many facilities, wonderful, for his sense gratification. So even it is mentioned that even King Mandhata, he was astonished. He was wondering that how come Saubhari got such a opulent. So King Mandhata, being the king of the 7 islands, such a opulent king, because we read the glories of the rule of King Mandhata also. So that much opulent king was also astonished by seeing the opulence of Saubhari Muni. So that much great opulence was there. Okay, so that was the discussion. But in this way Saubhari Muni was engaged in his household life, family life, and later on Saubhari Muni understands, he realizes his mistake, and then he laments, and then he again tries to correct his mistake, and then he achieves perfection. So that's the section which we are going to discuss today, from 49 to 55. Okay, so today we will discuss this 49 onwards. Yes, 9th canto, 6th chapter, 49. You can open if you have book or any folio, website, whatever. Sa kadachid upasina atma pahanavam atmanah dadarsha baho Richacharyo mean sanga samuthitam. Saha he Saubhari Muni kadachit one day upasina, sitting down, atma apahanavam, degrading oneself from the platform of tapasya, atmana self called dadarsha, observed bahu rich acharya Saubhari Muni, who was expert in chanting mantras, mean sanga, the sexual affairs of fish, samuthitam, caused by this incident. So thereafter one day, while Saubhari Muni, who was expert in chanting mantras, was sitting in secluded place, he thought to himself about the cause of his fall down. Okay, because he was doing nice tapasya, but he left tapasya and he did marriage, and now he is in family life, and what is all this? So he was just thought of the cause of his fall down. So which was simply that he had associated himself with the sexual affair of the fish. And what was the cause? Cause was that he saw 2 fishes mating. So that much dangerous it is. A sage who was doing bhakti, not bhakti, but he was doing some austerity, some tapasya for 60,000 years inside the water. That sage, how much yogi, controlled senses, but he saw 2 fishes mating, that's it, and his mind got agitated and he left everything and got married. So that much powerful it is. And now if you see in the modern day, people he got agitated just by seeing fish. But modern day people are watching all the movies and where humans, men and women come together and they kiss each other and they do all the nonsense. And they say, no, I'm just watching a movie. What is the harm in that? Actually, they don't realize that what is the harm. Why? Because already they are too much degraded. Already their consciousnesses went down, deep down, that now there is no effect of seeing. So they is all normal. Like always I give this example, if you have a clean place and there you put something dirty, some waste, some garbage, it looks very odd. Everybody will see, hey, why this garbage is here? But a place where already so much garbage is dumped, so much, and you go and you also put something, who cares? Right? Nobody bothers. So that's why the modern day people, they don't understand that how much harm it is happening to them, because actually already their consciousness is too dirty. So when they see all these dirty things like movies, Bollywood and all those things, okay, then they don't realize. But actually the thickness of dirt or ignorance is increasing and increasing, and it is becoming difficult to recover, difficult to clean. More and more effort will be needed to clean the consciousness. Okay, so that's the point. So we have to understand that just by seeing fishes mating, a sage, a yogi can get disturbed. Then what is the position of mind when I watch these movies? I am talking about the normal movies. Forget about the porn movies and all those stuff. That is anyway waste. But even the normal, which is considered normal nowadays, those movies where all the loving affairs are shown and all those things are shown, so they are completely spoiling the consciousness of the modern youth, children, young people and teenagers. Okay, they are disturbing their consciousness, they are putting dirty thing in their consciousness. And you can imagine how much dirty it is. That just by seeing the fishes mating, this much disturbance can happen to a sage who was controlling the senses for 60,000 years. Now you think the position of our children and our own consciousness. We are not doing any effort to control. What will be our situation when we will watch not fishes, we are watching directly humans? That much harmful it is. But we are not understanding the consequences of it, and we are ourselves are being engaged in watching TV and movies and making our children also engaged in that. And we are not at all aware that how much dangerous it is and how much these things are taking us away from Krishna. That we have. This is Saubhari Muni example is here. Ajamila, he also just for a few moments, Ajamila saw that scene. That's it, his mind got agitated. Okay, so that is the point here. So Saubhari Muni starts contemplating his cause of fall down. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks that Saubhari Muni had fallen from his austerity because of Vaishnava Aparadh. This is the commentary from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So this is the background story is there. Okay. So that is another cause of fall down. One cause of fall down is watching all these things and putting garbage, nonsense thing in our mind. How things goes in our mind? Through the gates. Anything goes inside of anything. How? Through the gates. So our mind, what are the gates? These are the gates. Okay. So especially eyes and ears are very strong. So what we see and what we hear, these two senses, eye and ear, they are always like open. Anything you can see immediately. You don't know. You are not, something can come. You are going on the road and you see some big hoarding, a dirty thing. and you just saw what to do, right? So at least you can close your eyes, but ear heart will do, right? So eyes and ears very strong. So we have to be very careful that no dirty thing goes inside through these two senses. We have to be very alert in that. And another cause of fall down is Vaishnava Aparad, which is mentioned here by Vishnu Chakri Thakur, that the Saubhari Muni had fallen from his austerity because of a Vaishnava Aparad. What was that? So the history is that when Garuda wanted to eat fish, Garuda is the vehicle for Krishna, carrier, okay. So Garuda wanted to eat fish. Saubhari Muni unnecessarily gave the fish shelter under his care. Because Garuda's plans for eating were disappointed, Saubhari Muni certainly committed a great offense to a Vaishnava. Because of this Vaishnava Aparad, an offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, Saubhari Muni fell from his exalted position of mystic tapasya. Because Garuda wanted to eat fish, but Saubhari said, no, you can. So all the fishes went to Saubhari Muni that you should protect us. Saubhari Muni said, if you come here, you will. He gave curse kind of thing to Garuda. Actually, he is such a powerful devotee, but doesn't work on him. But still, he respected. Okay, so this offense Saubhari Muni did against the Garuda, such a powerful devotee of the Lord, pure devotee. Garuda is personal associate of the Lord. So because of this Vaishnava Aparad, an offense at the lotus feet of Vaishnava, Saubhari Muni fell from his exalted position of mystic tapasya. Because of this Vaishnava Aparad, an offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, Saubhari Muni fell from his exalted position of mystic tapasya. One should not therefore impede the activities of a Vaishnava. So nobody should do any offense to a Vaishnava. This is the lesson we must learn from this incident concerning Saubhari Muni. So a person may be doing very nice bhakti and all, but if he does a Vaishnava Aparad, then he will fall down. Okay, so that's the point here. So these 7 verses describes how Saubhari regained his sense after enjoying, caused by an offense to Garuda. He realized the cause of his being cheated of the bliss of the self. Atma Apavanam was himself Atmanaha. Okay. What he realized that the cause of his being cheated of the bliss of the self was himself, arising from association with fish. To protect some fish, he had prevented Garuda from eating them. So that was the cause. Okay. Actually, in order to protect those fish only, he did offense to Garuda, and those fish only he saw and he fell down. So that's the real, the immediate cause and the main cause. You can understand like that. Okay. So that was the cause that why Saubhari Muni fell down from his position of mystic tapasya. What was the thing? That he did offense to Garuda. Okay. So that's the thing. And as I said, that's the main cause actually, that Garuda offense to Garuda. So Vaishnava Aparad made him to fell down. But immediate effect is what? That he saw 2 fishes mating. Okay. So as I said, this has to be, in our case, we have to be very careful that we don't commit any Vaishnava Aparad. First thing, that we don't. So these 2 things. First thing is that we don't commit any Vaishnava Aparad to any of the devotee. We should not consider he is not a devotee. To any devotee, we must not do any offense. Okay. So committing offense to a Vaishnava will cause fall down. And immediately what happened? That he saw 2 fish mating. So we have to be also alert that we don't watch or hear these kind of things. Okay. Because definitely when a person sees these kind of lusty things and hears these kind of things, immediately his mind will get agitated and he will have desire to perform the sexual affairs. Okay. That is why I was saying that watching these movies and songs, or Hollywood, Bollywood, or all the wood, okay, or everything. I'm talking about this normal movies which people say they are normal, not about the porn movies. They are anyway no use, but they are completely waste. But this also, people, that other thing, porn movies and all, even people consider that they are wrong, but normal movies they don't consider they are wrong, so they watch with the family, kids and all. So that is causing them big harm to their consciousness. Okay, so that's the point here. So these two things should be taken consideration very seriously, sincerely. What is that two thing? Again I am saying, so one should note down. Okay, first thing is that committing offense to a Vaishnava, and second thing is protecting our senses or our mind from dirty inputs. Dirty inputs comes from all the senses, and especially I said two senses. What are those? What are those senses? Two senses I said, very important, right? So, and that's why we have to hear very carefully that two senses I said. I'm repeating now third time. Okay, one is ears and one is eyes. Okay, so we have to be very careful that no dirty or lusty or material things goes through our ears and through eyes. That means we don't watch any those things which are material or which are lusty, and we don't hear any those things. Okay, so these are especially two senses, we have to be very careful. Okay, so if we can protect the dirty, we can protect these two senses from dirty inputs, then our mind will not be agitated very soon. So Saubhari Muni is the one example. He saw fishes mating, and Ajamil is another case. He also saw. Okay, so Ajamil just saw one prostitute mating with another man. So these kind of things are very dangerous. That's why I'm saying movies and serials and this all TV thing, Bollywood thing, because they also show the same thing. Ultimately, in all the movies, that's what is being shown. Loving affair between a man and a woman, boy and girl. That's what is the main theme of all the movies, and they've just put different stories just to support this main theme. Okay, so this is very dangerous for our Krishna consciousness, because we are not able to understand that how much these things are taking us away from Krishna, and that is why we are engaging ourselves in these things. Okay, so we have to be careful and protect our mind from dirty inputs. 50th shloka. Aho imam pashyat me vinasham tapasvinah satcharit vrtasya antar jale varichara prasangat prachaya vitam brahmachiram dhritam yat. So Saubhari Muni is contemplating that how I did this mistake. I was doing so nice tapasya, and all of a sudden I am here engaged in the family affairs. What is this? Aho, alas, imam, this pashyat, just see me, of me, vinasham, fall down, tapasvina, who was such a great mystic performing austerity, sat charita, of very good character, observing all necessary rules and regulation, vrtasya, of one who has taken a vow strictly, antah jale, in the depth of the water, vari char prasangat, because of the affair of the aquatics, prachaya vitam, fall in Brahma, from the activities of Brahman, realization or austerity, chiram, for a long time, dhritam, executed at which. So Saubhari Muni is saying, alas, while practicing austerity, even within the depth of the water, and while observing all the rules and regulations practiced by saintly persons, I lost the results of my long austerities simply by association with the sexual affairs of fish. Everyone should observe this fall down and learn from it. Saubhari Muni is saying, learn from me. Aho, alas, tapasvina, while practicing austerity, antarjale, within the depth of the water, sat charit vrtasya, I was having so good character. I was following Sat Charit. Sat Charit means very good character. I was following all the rules, regulation properly, and I was having a Sat Charit, good character, saintly character. Vratasya, following all the vratas, all the rules. Okay, and then I was following all the rules and regulation properly. I was having very good character. Yat chiram dhritam brahma parachyavitam. But I lost the results of my long austerity. Whatever austerity, tapasya, rules, regulation, vrata I have done, I lost result of everything. Everything became sunya, zero. Why? Varichara prasangat, simply by the association, simply by association with sexual affairs of fish. Okay, so pashyat imam me vinasham. Everyone should observe this destruction. Pashyat imam me vinasham. Just see my vinash, how I am destroyed, and see me and learn from it. Okay, that's what Saubhari Muni is saying, that learn from me. I was having very good character. I was so nice, following all the rules and regulation. But just I saw something dirty and my mind got agitated, and now I am engaged in this all family sexual affairs. So nice, from where to where. And all the results, whatever austerity, vrata I did, became sunya, zero. I lost the results of my long austerities. So that's the point here. So Saubhari Muni is saying, learn from me. That's how these stories are included in Bhagavatam, so that we all can learn. Sangam tyajeto mithun vrati nam mumukshuhu sarvatmana na visrajet bahir indriyani ekas charan rahasi chittam ananta ishe yunjit tadvritishu sadhushu chet prasangaha. Sangam, association, tyajet, must give up. Mithun vrati naam, of a person engaged in sexual affairs, legal or illegal. Mumukshu, so Prabhupada gave clear understanding. Somebody will say, no, this is a legal affair. No, legal or illegal, both kind of sexual affairs. Mumukshu, persons who desire liberation. Sarva atmana, in all respects, na, do not visrajet, employ bahi indriyani, in external senses, ekha, alone, charan, moving rahasi, in a secluded place, chittam, the heart, anant ishe, fixed at the lotus feet of the unlimited supreme personality of Godhead. Yunjit, one can engage himself, tat pratishu, with persons of the same category, desiring liberation from material bondage. Sadhushu, such saintly person, chet, a prasanga, one wants association. Translation: a person desiring liberation from material bondage, any person who wants to get free from this material bondage, birth, death, cycle of birth and death, material existence. A person desiring liberation from material bondage must give up the association of persons interested in sex life and should not employ his senses externally in seeing, hearing, talking, walking, and so on. Okay. One should always stay in a secluded place, completely fixing his mind at the lotus feet of the unlimited personality of Godhead. And if one wants any association at all, he should associate with persons similarly engaged. Very nice advice Saubhari Muni is giving. Okay, Saubhari Muni giving conclusion derived from his practical experience. Whatever his experience, he is saying conclusion. So, Saubhari Muni, giving conclusions derived from his practical experience, instructs us that persons interested in crossing to the other side of the material ocean, that means spiritual world. If you want to go to spiritual world, then what we have to do? We must give up the association of persons interested in sex life and accumulating money. These two type of person who are interested in so much money and who are interested in sex life, one should leave the association of these two type of persons if one want to do bhakti. Okay, this is also advised by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Niskincinasya bhagavad bhajanonmukhasya param param jigmishor bhava sagarasya sandarshananam vishayi nam atha yoshitam chaha hanta hanta visha bhokshanato api asadhu. This is the definition of asadhu. Alas, for a person seriously desiring to cross the material ocean and engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord without material motives, seeing a materialist engaged in sense gratification and seeing a woman who is similarly interested is more abominable than drinking poison willingly. So Mahaprabhu, Bhagwan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that a person who want to go to who want to cross this material world, who want to go to spiritual world, who want to do bhakti, who want to serve Krishna, for a person seeing this kind of sense gratification activity, what kind of, that a woman interested in sense gratification, a man interested in sense gratification, so seeing those kind of activities and seeing a man or woman who are interested in this, even seeing those women, this is like drinking poison knowingly, willingly. Okay, it's like that much dangerous. It's like committing spiritual suicide. Okay, so one who desires complete freedom from material bondage can engage himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Okay, so who desire complete freedom from material bondage can engage himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He must not associate, a person, simply saying a person who want to do bhakti to Krishna, anybody who want to become Krishna devotee, for him this thing is said that he should not engage in these sexual affairs, he should not be having any association with the people who are engaged in sexual affair or who like to do these kind of things, and one should not even watch these people. Forget about watching these people while they are doing this kind of activity. They should not see these people only. So he must not associate with Vishayi. No association with these kind of people, materialistic persons or those interested in sex life. Not at all having any association. Every materialist is interested in sex. Thus, in plain language, it is advised that an exalted saintly person avoid the association of those who are materially inclined. So generally, you cannot understand that who is interested in sex or not, but you can easily see that who is interested in money. So generally, they want money for that purpose. So people who are too much money oriented and too much sense gratification oriented, one should not take their association if they want to do bhakti. Srila Narottam Das Thakur also recommends that one engage in the service of the acharyas, and if one want to live in association, he must live in the association of devotees. So either you live alone, or if you want any association, you cannot live alone, then what you should do? Then we should associate with the devotee of Krishna. Tandere charan say bhakta sanevas. We have to live with the devotees. So the Krishna consciousness movement, the ISKCON, the role of ISKCON is now here. What is the role? The ISKCON, the Krishna consciousness movement, is creating many centers. For what? Just to create devotees, so that by associating with the members of such a center, people will automatically become uninterested in material affairs. So Prabhupada movement, ISKCON, is creating many centers, so that everywhere many devotees will be there, so that normal people will come and associate with devotee, and they also will become devotee, and devotees also will get association of devotees, so they will be safe. So although this is an ambitious proposal, so Prabhupada is writing long back, but now you see, Prabhupada created 108, then Prabhupada followers created more and more temples and centers, and thousands of temples are there. Officially 800 centers, but small Namhatta and small preaching center, if you include, there are thousands and thousands all over the world. So by gradually, okay, so although this is an ambitious proposal, this association is proving effective by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada saying it's very big ambitious project, but by the mercy of Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, things are coming true, things are becoming manifested, and till now it is there. Centers are growing, devotees are increasing, many. So by gradually associating with the members of the Krishna consciousness movement, simply by taking prasad and taking part in chanting of the Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, ordinary persons are being considerably elevated. Normal people also becoming devotee. Okay. So Saubhari Muni regrets that he had bad association even in the deepest part of the water. So because of the bad association of the sexually engaged fish, he fell down. So one should avoid this association of people who are engaged in sexual affairs. So that's what now what it is. This movie cinema is that thing, because directly it is giving you that association. It is just showing you all those affairs, and if we see, we get agitated and we will not be able to do bhakti, and Krishna will not be happy with us. Okay, so a secluded place is also not secure unless there is good association. So this is another last line is very important, that somebody should not think that I will live alone, because living alone is also very dangerous. Mind is very dirty already. So always the best thing is to live in the association of the devotee. Never one should be alone. Okay, so Saubhari Muni is saying that please learn from me. Nobody should become like me. Others should not do the same mistake which I did. So in this way he regrets his condition in 2 verses. He should not engage in his external senses. There is no injunction not to employ the internal senses, since such an order is impossible. So there is no substance in giving impossible orders. So if there is excellent association with the devotees fixed in the Lord, Tatvrateshu, that means the very nice devotees, strong devotees, then he should take that association. Because I lacked that association, I associated with fish engaging in sex life, arising from finding fault in Garuda. Okay, so that's how it happened. The cause is that, but it happened through this way. Okay, I associated with fish engaging in sex life, arising from finding fault in Garuda. He did offense to Garuda. So if there is excellent association, then take it. Otherwise, do not associate. This negative should be supplied. Okay, so rather than living alone, what one should do? One should live with the nice devotees. Okay, and then in this way one will be always protected. Okay, so when will that person acting in that way fix his mind on the Lord? So it will happen if he has association with the devotees similarly engaged. So like-minded devotees we should find, and we should engage our mind in the service of Krishna. Okay. 52. Ekas tapasvi aham atham bhasi matsya sangat panchasad asam uta pancha sahasra sargaha nantam brajami ubhaya kritya manorathanam maya gunair hirt matir vishaye artha bhavah. Ekha, one only, tapasvi, great sage, aham, I, atha, thus, ambasi, in the deep water, matsya sangat, by associating with the fish, panchasat, 50, asam, got wise, uta, and what to speak of begetting 100 sons in each of them, panchasastra sarga, procreation of 5,000, na antam, no end, varjami, I can find, ubhaya kritya, duties of this life and the next, manorathana, mental concoction, maya gunai, influenced by the modes of material nature, hita, loss, mati, vishaye, great attraction for material things, artha bhava, matters of self-interest. Okay, so in the beginning I was alone, Saubhari Muni is saying. In the beginning I was alone and engaged in performing the austerities of mystic yoga. But later, because of the association of fish engaged in sex, I desired to marry. Then I became the husband of 50 wives. He is lamenting actually that I was nice alone doing tapasya, but when I saw this, so I got agitated. I desired to marry. Then I became the husband of 50 wives. And in each of them I begot 100 sons. And thus my family increased to 5,000 members. So 50 wives, every wife 100 sons of 5,000 members. By the influence of the modes of material nature, I became fallen and thought that I would be happy in material life. That's another concept, that he got influenced by material energy, and he started thinking that if I will be in this material life, I will be happy. So thus there is no end to my material desires for enjoyment in this life and the next. So for material desires there is no end. Thus Saubhari Muni is saying, he is saying, learn from me, don't get into this again. Okay. So that's the point here. So Saubhari Muni is telling that be in the association of the devotees always, okay, and learn from me. Never go into a secluded place. That's another dangerous thing. Be in the association of devotees. So first thing is, don't associate with non-devotees or the people who are interested in lusty things, sexual things. Okay. So in modern aspect, what is the biggest dangerous thing is this TV, cinema, movie, YouTube, or what is that? Netflix, all those things. So they are like giving you that Ajamila view, what Ajamila saw, what Saubhari saw. So first thing, stop that association. Okay, that's what he's saying. Anybody, what Shloka says, anybody interested in this, you should not see even those people. Forget about people doing activity. Any man or woman who are interested in this sexual affair, you should not see them only. Okay, you should not have any association with them only. So that is first step. Second step is try to focus on Krishna. That alone you cannot do. Very difficult. So Saubhari is saying, better you go with the devotees. You go in the association of devotees, and then like-minded devotees. Like if you like too much Kirtan, then you go with the devotees who like Kirtan. So you will be always happy. Your mind always will be engaged in the service of Krishna. And you like, suppose you like read Bhagavatam. So you go with those kind of devotees. Always be associated with those devotees who like reading Bhagavatam or discussion or chanting. Some devotees like Harinam, whole day they chant. So you go with them. So like that. So when you are in that way of association, then you will be protected. So that's what Saubhari Muni is trying to tell. He explains, Saubhari Muni is explaining his fault further. The fault of association. What is that? By association with 50 wives, I became 50. He was having a big family. By sons, I became 5,000 since he had 100 sons. First I was alone, then I married, so I became 50. Okay, so that's how, like normal day person is alone. Then he married, he became 2. Then after some day he became 3. Then he became 4. So he's saying I was 1, happy. Then I became 50. Then with every wife I have 100 sons, I become 5,000. Thinking that enjoyment, why he was doing like that? Because thinking that enjoyment is the goal of life, artha bhava. I was thinking this family life, sex life, bache, all these things is the happiness. So I was becoming big. I was expanding my family. I obtained no end to desires for performing actions for this and next life. This is very important thing. Because a person is thinking, okay, after this, my desire will be end. Okay. So now I have to study something, and then I will get job, and then there won't be any desire. I will live nicely and I will do bhakti. But when he get job, then he get new desire. I need to buy this, and so many things he want. Then I need to get married. So once I will marry, I will be happy. I will be satisfied, and then I can do bhakti. So he get married. Then okay, marriage means now at least 1 or 2 kids should be there. So when I have kid, I will be so happy. Then I can do very bhakti very happily. So he does kid, then for kids marriage, then kids education, kids marriage, then again kids. Like that, the desires are having no end. And that's why person is trapped. And not only one, again and again, each and every person is trapped in the same trap. You just see, the trap of Maya is so powerful. It's easy, everybody is seeing, it's like that. but still people are coming and getting into it. I have told you that circus story, right? So it's like that. Everybody is coming and getting trapped in that. So we have to be. So Saubhari Muni is telling that be careful, see from me, learn from me. Evam vasan grihe kalam virakto nyasam astitaha vanam jagam manu yayush tat patnyaha pati devataha. Evam, in this way, vasan, living, grihe, at home, kalam, passing away time, viraktaha, became detached, nyasam, in the renounced order of life, asthitaha, became situated, vanam, in the forest, jagam, he went, anu yayuhu, was followed by tat patnyaha, all his wife, pati devataha, because their only worshipable object was their husband. So in this way, so he was lamenting like this, and in this way he passed his life in household affairs for some time. Now he is lamenting, he understood that he did a mistake, big mistake, but he was thinking, and in this way he passed some time. But then he became detached from material enjoyment, completely became detached. To renounce material association, he accepted the Vanprastha order. Okay, again he left all the wives and went to the forest. But then what happened? His devoted wives followed him. He went to the jungle, Vanprastha, wife also followed him. For they had no shelter other than their husband. Because where they will go now? Husband is going. So in Vanprastha actually, wife can go together, it's no problem. Okay. Then tatra taptva tapastikshanam atma darshanam atmavan sahevagni bhir atmanam yuyoja paramatmani. So these wives were good only. That's why they followed. Otherwise they would have said, oh, you are going to jungle, I will go and find another husband. So they were not like that. Okay. So tatra, in the forest, taptva, executing austerity, tapaha, the regulated principles of austerity, tikshanam, very severely, atma darshanam, which helps self-realization, atmavan, conversant with the self, saha, with ev, certainly, agnivi, fires atmanam, the personal self, yuyoja, he engaged, param, atmani, dealing with the supreme soul. So when Saubhari Muni, who was quite conversant with the self, went to the forest, he performed severe penance. This way, in the fire at the time of death, he ultimately engaged himself in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now finally he engaged in the service of Krishna. So at the time of death, fire burns the gross body, and if there is no more desire for material enjoyment, the subtle body is also ended. That's very important. Other day I was telling you about gross body and subtle body, Sukshma Sarira and Sthul Sarira. So gross body at the time of death is burnt, but subtle body, mind and ego stays with. So subtle body stays with the soul. Okay. So but if Prabhupada is writing here, if there is no material desire, then subtle body also will end, and then person is liberated. And in this way, a pure soul remains. Soul becomes pure. Okay. Because there is no desire. Become desireless. That's what is the point here. So this is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Tyaktva deham punarjanma neti. If one is free from the bondage of both the gross and subtle material bodies and remains a pure soul, he returns home back to Godhead to be engaged in the service of the Lord. So when there is no desire, actually when in the subtle body, when there are desires, these desires will cause a next body for the soul. So this subtle body will carry the soul into a next body after death. So person will get next body. But when there is no desire, where it will carry? So it will be, the subtle body also will be lost. And then soul remains pure. And pure soul will be taken away by Krishna. Okay, so he returns home back to Godhead to be engaged in the service of the Lord. Because in the service of the Lord, in the Golok Vrindavan, our gross body and subtle body is not required. We are required. Soul, pure soul is required. But we are trapped in gross and subtle body. So we have to get rid of it. And for that, we have to become desireless. So becoming desireless is very difficult. So we have to, because becoming desireless, how it is possible? So become desire. So start having spiritual desire. That's the solution. Becoming desireless is very difficult, but having spiritual desire is very good. So you want to eat gulab jamun, so that's material desire. But you want to eat prasad in which there is gulab jamun, that may be spiritual desire. Okay, so in that way you can spiritualize your desires, and when at the time of death I am having only spiritual desire, then my subtle body, how it will create another gross body? Because I don't need anything. I don't need anything. See, suppose when a person leaves one company and goes another company, they have to sign no dues form. What it is no dues? That now you have no dues here, so don't come back here. So that's why at the time of death we have to find this no dues. If there is any dues, you have to come back in this material world. So if there is no dues, go to spiritual world. So that's why. So there is no desire. So you go to just spiritual world. Because when there is desire, the mind desires are there in subtle body. Subtle body will cause another gross body and will carry the soul in the gross body. That's how it is. This is technicality of this. So taktva deham punarjanma neti mameti. So Arjuna, so Krishna is saying that he goes back home, back to Godhead. In this way, thus it appears that Saubhari Muni attained the perfect stage. Okay. So in this way, Saubhari Muni attained perfect stage. So last verse for the day, 55. Tah swapatyur maharaja nirikshyaadhyatmikim gatim anviyushtat prabhavena angim shantam ivarchishaha. Taha, all the wives of Saubhari, swapatyuhu, with their own husband Maharaja, O King Parikshit, Niriksha, observing Adhyatmikim, spiritual gatim, progress, Anviyuhu, followed Tat Prabhavena, by the influence of their husband. Although they were unfit, by the influence of their husband, they also could go to the spiritual world. Agnim, the fire, Shantam, completely merged, Eva, like Archishaha, the flames. So very nice, important shloka for wives. O Maharaj Parikshit, Shukdev Goswami saying, O Maharaj Parikshit, by observing their husband progressing in spiritual existence, Saubhari Muni's wives were also able to enter the spiritual world by his spiritual power, just as the flames of a fire cease when the fire is extinguished. Okay, so the way when fire is finished, all the flames also will be finished, extinguished. So similarly, when Saubhari Muni went to the spiritual world, all the wives also went. And Prabhupada is giving the translation of the word Tat Prabhavena. That means by the influence of their husband. They were not fit to go spiritual world, but they were serving their husband very nicely. So by the influence of the husband's bhakti, the wife also, all the wives also went to the spiritual world. So that's the point here. That even the wife is not very perfect in bhakti, but husband is perfect and husband is doing very nice bhakti, and wife is serving husband nicely and giving all the assistance to the husband so that he can progress in the spiritual life. In that case, without being fit to go to the spiritual world, the wife also can go to the spiritual world only by the influence of the bhakti of her husband. Is it clear? I think it's quite a big sentence I said. Okay, so that's how it is. If husband is doing nice bhakti and wife is assisting, it's not like husband is doing nice bhakti but wife is pulling him towards material thing. No, you don't do bhakti, you do sense gratification. That kind of wife is not mentioned here. Wife who is assisting husband in bhakti and serving him nicely and respecting, and she is pure, she is chaste, that wife, just by because she served the husband and husband is a nice devotee and he is going to spiritual world, so by the influence of bhakti of husband, wife also will be taken to the spiritual world. So as stated in Bhagavad Gita 9:32, Istriyo Vaishyas Tatha Shudras Tepi Yanti Param Gatim. Women are not considered very powerful. Prabhupada is writing that women are not considered very powerful in following spiritual principles. But if a woman is fortunate enough to get a suitable husband who is spiritually advanced, and if she always engages in his service, she also gets the same benefit as her husband. So very easy for women. Only thing is they should get a devotee husband, that's it. So here it is clearly said that the wives of Saubhari Muni also entered the spiritual world by the influence of their husband. So they were unfit. Prabhupada is saying they were unfit, but because they were faithful followers of their husband, they also entered the spiritual world with him. Thus, a woman should be a faithful servant of her husband. And if the husband is spiritually advanced, the woman will automatically get the opportunity to enter the spiritual world. So one may say that if husband is not advanced, what to do? So one place in 7th canto Prabhupada is writing in the purport that if husband is too much disturbing or not even following 4 regulative principle, so living with such husband, if wife is not able to do any bhakti, then that wife can stay separated from husband, but that does not mean that she gets married to another man and start prostitution. So that thing is not required, but she can stay separate and she can do bhakti. Okay, the point is, being human, the main activity is to perform bhakti. Okay, so thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 9th canto, 6th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Downfall of the Saubhari Muni. Okay, so tomorrow we shall discuss the 7th chapter of the 9th canto, the descendants of King Mandhata. Okay, so further what happened? So in this I'll just give little summary in just 1 minute. So many stories, as I said, 9th canto is full of small stories. Okay, so in this 7th chapter there will be stories of descendants of King Mandhata. So we will see descendants of Ambrish and Purukutsa, okay, who are sons of Mandhata in first 6 shlokas, and then from shloka number like first 7 and then 8 to 15, Harishchandra. You may have heard this name. Harishchandra begets a son, and Harishchandra postpones sacrifice out of affection for his son. This is a nice story there. And then that is till text number 15, yes. And then 16 to 20, Harishchandra attacked by dropsy. And then Harishchandra, last section 21-23, Harishchandra performs sacrifice. So in this way, and the 7th chapter is descendants of King Mandhata, or a story of Harishchandra. Okay, so in the 7th chapter, Harishchandra, descendant of Mandhata, so he will cheat Varuna and out of affection for his son, and then satisfies him with a human sacrifice. So that kind of story is there. So we will discuss 7th chapter tomorrow. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna. So if you have any question, you can kindly ask.